Good morning, first graders. We're going to start with phonics today, so make sure you have phonics. It should be pages 157 and 158. But before we start, in our phonics lessons today, it's really important that we remember what our short vowel sounds are. So we're going to sing our vowel song. First, we'll start with our long vowels, and then we'll go to our short vowels. Ready? I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. Make sure you're singing with me. I like to eat apples and bananas. 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 I like to apples and bananas. I like to apples and bananas. I like to ute apples and bananas. I like to ute apples and bananas. Okay, short vowels. I like to apples and bananas. 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 Okay, it's time to look at our phonics paper. You should be looking at the side that has a playground picture at the bottom of the page. And let's read the instructions to the top. It says add ing to the base word in the box. Print the new word on the line. Today's rules, though, are going to be a little bit different. This is something very new, so make sure you're really paying attention. Okay, we're not just adding ing to the end of our base word today. Today we have to look for some special rules. And guess what? Some of our words are going to have twins. How can a word have twins? Let's think about it. Let's look at our first word, hop. If we want to add an ing ending to a word like hop, we have to look at it. The first thing we want to know is, does our word end with a consonant? Remember, a consonant is any letter that's not a vowel. And we sang our vowel songs with A, E, I, O, and U. If you forget, you can write A, E, I, O, and U on the top of your paper to remember those are your vowels. Okay, so let's look at hop. Does hop end with a consonant? Yes, it does. Now, we have to see, does it have a short vowel right before the consonant? Let's look at hop. The O in hop. Yes, that is a short O. The word ends with a consonant and has a short vowel right before it. it's going to get a twin. And when it gets a twin, it gets another letter just like itself. So we're going to write another consonant just like the one on the end of our word. After our twins, we're going to add our ing. All right, let's do another example with bag. Does bag end with a consonant? Yes, G is a consonant. Does it have a short vowel in front of the consonant? Let's see, bag, bag. Yes, it has a short E. If it ends with a consonant, has a short vowel right in front of it, it gets a twin. So I'm going to write its twin. Now we have two G's, and then write our ing ending. Okay. Might seem a little confusing because it's new. It might not. But if it does, don't worry because we're going to do the first few together on our paper. So the first thing I want you to do on your paper is to write ing on the top. To remember on the front, we're adding the ing ending because when you go to the back, you're going to be adding your ed ending, and we will write an ed on the top of that. All right, so let's look at number 1. Maria and Dana were blank to go shopping. Okay? The word in the green box at the end of the sentence is plan. All right, let's look at the word plan. Does plan end with a consonant? Yes, N is a consonant. Does it have a short vowel before the consonant? Plan. Plan. Yes, that's a short A. If it ends in a consonant, has a short vowel in front of it, it gets a twin. And then I can add my ing ending. So in number 1, write the word planning. Make sure you remember the twin. And remember, if I go too fast, I'm going to try to give you time to write. If I go too fast, you can always pause the video and then start it back up again. Number 2. First, they went blank in the park. The word in the green box is walk. Let's look at the word walk. Does walk end with a consonant? Yes, it does. Is the letter before the K a short vowel? No, it's not. L is another consonant. So it doesn't get a twin. You're doing the same thing you did yesterday on this one, just giving it an ing ending. So in number 2, we're going to write walking. Go ahead and write that now. Okay, number 3. Children were blank on the swings. The word at the end of our line is swing. All right, let's look at swing. Does it end with a consonant? Yes, it does. G is a consonant. Is there a short vowel right before it? No, N is a consonant. So it doesn't get a swing. So we're just going to add ing. And every year I have someone ask me, why do I need to write ing? It already has ing. Just remember, swing is our base word. Even though it has ing, it's still our base word, and then we have to add our ending. Go ahead and write swinging. Okay, we'll do 2 more with our ing endings. Number 4, a cat was napping in the shade. Oops, I went ahead. The word in the green box is nap. We're going to make napping. So we're going to write nap. And let's look at the word nap. The word nap ends with a P. Does it end with a consonant? Yes, it does. Does it have a short vowel in front of it? Let's see. Nap. Yes, it is a short A. So our P, it's a twin because it ends in a consonant and has the short vowel right in front of it. And now we can add our ing ending. Go ahead and write napping. And number 5, people were blank along a path. The word in the green box at the end of the sentence is jog. Let's look at the word jog. Does it end with a consonant? It does. G is a consonant. Og. Does it have a short O in front of it? It does. So the G gets a twin. And we add our ing ending. Okay? You're going to finish the front. And when you finish the front, come back to the video and we'll do our ed endings on the back. So go ahead and pause it now and start up again when you're ready. Go ahead and write jump to nap. Okay, you should have finished the front of your phonics paper. We're on the back now. And on the back of your paper, instead of green word boxes, you have words in dog biscuits. And they're in dog biscuits because the story in the back, after you fill in the blanks, is about a dog. All right, let's see. What are we going to do to the back? It says, read the yellow box with me. Add ed to the word beside each sentence to make it tell about the past. Print the word on the line. So remember we said yesterday when we add the ing ending, you're telling about something that's happening now or will happen. When we add the ed ending, we're talking about something that's already happened. Okay? And we're following the same rules on the front that we did on the back, but I want you to make sure you remember to do the ed ending. So we're going to write ed on the top of our papers to remember that we're using our ed ending. Okay. If you have not written ed, do that now. And let's look at number 1. My dog blank his tail when I got home. And the word in the biscuit is wag. So I'm going to write wag. All right. And we're following those same twin rules. Does wag end with a consonant? Is G a consonant? Yes, it is. Is there a short vowel right before the consonant? Wag, wag. Yes, it is a short A. So we're going to give our G a twin and add ed. So go ahead and write wagged now in number 1. My dog wagged his tail when I got home. Okay. Number 2, he blanked up on me with a happy smile. The word in our dog biscuit is jump. So let's see. We're going to write jump. Does jump end with a consonant? Yes, it does. Does it have a short vowel in front of it? No, M is a consonant. It does not have a short vowel in front of it. So it does not get a twin. Just write your ed ending. Go ahead and write jump to nap. Okay. Number 3. I blank back because he was messy. The word in the dog biscuit is step. I stepped back because he was messy. So we're going to write step. Does step end with a consonant? Yes, it does. Does it have a short vowel in front of it? Let's see. Step, step, step. Yes, that's a short E. So our P does get a twin. It ends with a consonant and has a short vowel in front of it. And then we add ED. So in number 3, go ahead and write stepped now. Okay. Number 4. Wags, you need to be blank. Okay, the word in the dog biscuit is scrub. Okay, let's look at scrub. Does it end with a consonant? It does. Does it have a short vowel in front of it? Scrub, scrub. Yes, that's a short U. So it gets a twin. And we add ED. All right, number 5. I blank him up and put him in the tub. I picked him up. So we're going to write the word pick. Pick is the word in our dog biscuit at the end of our sentence. Does pick end with a consonant? Yes, it does. Does it have a short vowel in front of it? No, C's a consonant. So we just add ED. Okay. So you're going to finish this on your own. Remember, after you finish filling in the blanks, go back and read the story and make sure it makes sense. And after you finish this, we'll come back with some math. Go ahead and pause your video and finish the back of your phonics paper. But before we do that, let's talk about adding. Remember, we have related facts. We've talked a lot about those. And related facts have the same numbers. So if I have 3 plus 2 equals 5, I can change the order of my add-ins, the numbers I'm adding together. If 3 plus 2 equals 5, does 2 plus 3 equal 5? It does. We're still adding together the same numbers. Well, guess what? When we add 2-digit numbers, it still works the same way. At the example on the top of your paper, it's showing 22 plus 35. Remember, I always want to start with my ones first. Remember, yesterday your paper had a line down the middle. If it helps you, you may draw that line down the middle of your math problems. You don't have to. It's whichever works better for you. But we always want to start with our ones column. So if I add 2 plus 5 more, I'm going to get 7. When I add my tens, 2 tens plus 3 tens, 2 tens plus 3 tens is 5 tens. So 22 plus 35 equals 57. Now, I'm not sure. Did I do that right or did I make a mistake? There are ways we can check our math, and we've talked about we can change the numbers or the order of the numbers we're adding together. So instead of adding 22 plus 35, I'm going to add 35 plus 22. I'm changing the order of my add-ins, so changing the order of the numbers I'm adding together. Okay? I'm going to start with the ones. Again, sometimes it's helpful when we're starting out to draw that line down the middle. You may draw it. If you don't need to, that's okay. But we're still starting with our ones. So we have 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2 equals 7. 3 tens plus 2 tens equals 5 tens. And 35 plus 22 equals 57. It should match the first number, the first sum, because they're related facts. And they do. So we're just going to do a few together. We're going to go down to red number 1. And red number 1 says 58 plus 31. Okay, again, if it helps you, let's draw a circle around the number 1 so we know it's not part of our problem. And if it helps you, you can draw a line between your 10s and your 1s. And let's add our 1s. 8 plus 1 more is 9. 5 10s plus 3 10s is 8 10s. So we know that 58 plus 31 equals 89. Now I'm going to check it. I'm going to draw the boxes like you have on your paper. Is there a box on the bottom? No. Okay. So remember, we're just changing the order of the numbers we're adding together. And when we add them together, we should still get 89 because they're related facts. So if I'm changing the order, I'm going to put the 31 on the top. 31 plus 58. And you can still draw that line if it helps you. 1 plus 8 is 9. 3 10s plus 5 10s is 8 10s. So we said 31 plus 58 equals 89. Does it match our first sum, our first answer? Yes, it does. So we know we did it correctly. All right. Oh, I erased that a little too quickly. If you want to, you can go back in your video. Just rewind it a little bit, play that part again, and then we'll keep going. Sorry about that, guys. All right, I'll give you a minute to get organized there before we start number 2. All right, number 2. 32 plus 42. And I'm going to draw that line because sometimes that's helpful to do. And I'm going to make a mistake on purpose. So see if you can find my mistake before we get to the end. And we'll talk about how the checking helps us to know if we got the right answer. All right. 2 plus 2 is 4. I'm going to say 3 10s plus 4 10s is 9 10s. Okay, now let's check it. Remember, we're changing the order of the numbers we're adding together. We're still adding the same numbers, we're just changing the order. Remember, you have a box that you're writing your numbers in, and I'm still drawing a line. Okay. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 10s plus 3 10s is 7 10s. Uh-oh, my numbers don't match. My sum over here is 94, and my sum over here is 74. I made a mistake. That's okay. We all make mistakes. The important thing is that we try to go back and learn from them, and so we don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. So let's go back. Let's see. I'm going to check my math over here again. And remember, the mistake could be in either math problem, but I'm going to start with my first one. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 10s plus 4 10s. I'm not sure because I got different answers. I want to check my math. So I'm going to draw 3 circles plus 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 10s plus 4 10s is 7 10s. Now my sums, or my answers, do match. So we know we did number 2 correctly. You're going to finish the rest of this on your own. At number 10, on Talk It Over, it says, what do you notice about the sum when you change the order of the addends? When we change the order of our addends, the numbers we're adding together, did we get the same sum? We did. We still get the same sum. You can put a check mark on number 10. Okay. I want you to turn your paper over and look at the back. You are going to do the entire back, but I'm going to help you. Let's look at numbers 20, 21, and 22 at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to set those up. All right. Number 20. Oh, those are, it's hard to tell from the picture. Those are the shuttlecocks you use when you play badminton. Instead of hitting a ball like you do in tennis, you hit that back and forth across the net. It says Leon has 34 shuttlecocks. Cal has double that many. How many does Cal have? All right, so remember we go back and we read our problem a sentence at a time. Leon has 34 shuttlecocks. So you're going to write the number 34. Okay. Cal has double that many. So if he has double that many, remember our doubles, we add the same number to itself. So if he also has 34. And when we're adding 2 digits numbers, be very careful. It's important to line up the ones, one on top of the other, and the tens on top of one on top of the other. It helps to keep it neat so that you don't accidentally add the wrong numbers together. And I'm going to draw my line to help me remember. I'm going to first add my ones and then my tens. 4 plus 4 equals 8. 3 tens plus 3 tens equals 6. Cal has 68 shuttlecocks. So in the little space under the number 20, go ahead and write your problem. 34 plus 34 is 68. And I'm going to give you a minute to do that. Remember, if I go too fast, you can stop the video and start it up again. Okay. And then on the line where it says Cal has blank shuttlecocks, make sure you remember to write the number 68. Okay. Let's look at number 21. Okay, let's read that together. Bridget and Anne each counted 23 soccer balls. How many did they count all together? Well, let's see. How many did Bridget count? Bridget and Anne each counted 23. So that means Bridget counted 23 and Anne counted 23. Okay, so you're going to set up your problem. And for that one, I want you to go on to solve it on your own and write the sum on the blank. They counted blank soccer balls. I'll give you a minute to do. Okay, so now we're looking at number 22 at the bottom of your page. This is problem 22. And we need to add our numbers together and then finish our pattern. So when I look up here, I can still draw lines. So when I add my numbers together, I remember to add my ones and my tens. All right, so let's look at our pattern. Let's look at our ones place first for our top number. So we have 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, remember we're writing numbers in the ones place. They have to be all the way to the right. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. So we're just adding 1 each time. All right, now let's look at our tens numbers, our tens place. 2 tens plus 1 10 is 3 tens. 3 tens plus 1 10 is 4 tens. 4 tens plus 1 10 is 5 tens. 5 tens plus 1 10 is 6 tens. And 6 tens plus 1 10 is 7 tens. And our bottom pattern's a little bit easier. Let's see, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. And remember, you can draw lines if you like. to help you keep track of your tens and ones. And remember, when you're adding, always start with the ones. So go ahead and finish the front and back of this paper on your own. And when you come back, we'll be ready for our English paper on contractions. Okay, we're back for phonics. Oh, yes, it is recording. We are back for phonics. You should be looking at the side of your paper that has a dog holding a leash. I think he looks ready for a walk. Maybe when we're finished here, you can get out for a walk too. All right, so on the side with the leash, we're going to be talking about the contraction wasn't. And we use was not to make the contraction wasn't. So remember, what do we do when we're writing contractions? First, see if you can think of it. I hope you remember that first we write the first word. Was. Okay. For not, I'm going to cross out the O. In not, I'm only writing the N and then the apostrophe T for wasn't. Okay. And were not is very similar. We're going to work with were not on the back. We're going to write the first word were. Cross out the O. Write N. Apostrophe T for weren't. The N's a little bit hard to see. Let's see here. There, that should be better. Okay, so let's look at our page. At the top, remember we don't trace over those because we write differently, but it has was not, and the example is Jake was not at the park. And we can replace was not with the contraction wasn't. Jake wasn't at the park. Okay, so let's go down to letter B and read the instructions. Underline the two words that make up each contraction. Write the contraction on the line. And number 1 says, I was not yelling. Okay, which two words make up the contraction? And I was not yelling. I hope you picked was not. Go ahead and underline was not. And write the contraction on the line, wasn't. I wasn't yelling. After you finish, you're going to finish the front on your own in just a minute. We're going to go over the instructions for the back. And on the back, you should see a rake and some leaves. And we're going over the contraction weren't. So at the top, we're going to read our example, were not. They were not cleaning. In place of were not, we can use the contraction weren't. They weren't cleaning. All right? So let's read the directions next to letter B. Underline the two words that make up each contraction. Write the contraction on the line. Number 1, we were not running in the house. Which two words can you underline that will make the contraction? Were not. In number 1, underline were not. And remember the contraction we can make for were not is weren't. So you're going to write weren't on the line. For the example, we weren't running in the house. So go ahead and finish that page on your own. And remember to read My Brother is Afraid of Just About Everything. And you're working at your own pace this week on your yellow reading comprehension book and in your map skills book. So look at the pages we needed to do for this week and make sure you're making some good progress. And make sure you make some time for fun. Bye.